Good morning. Good morning. After a lot of mishaps in a good way, which is so par for the course of Mercury going direct. And I will share that in a moment. But we are here. I'm here. Welcome to the weekly energy report for September 9th through the 15th. I am your host and your intuitive life coach, your co creative coach, and your friendly neighborhood super woo, Soul Coach Michele. And we're going to talk all about the energy of the week. I'm going to pull you some cards and I'm going to coach you through any speed bumps that might come up. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the decks we're going to use today are the Archangel Michael Sword of Light, which is by Raleigh Valentine. Love him. I have loved him since his genie bottle days, like years. We're also going to pull some cards from the Colette Baron-Reid Spirit Animal Oracle. And I'm going to pull a card so that you have a mantra for the week to meditate with from the My Meditation Minute deck, which is by, oh my goodness me. Okay, so if you want this deck, if you love these decks, when you see me pull them for you, the links are in the description. So you are more than welcome to get your own or give them as a beloved gift to a beloved. But anyways, so let's jump in. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pull 3 cards. We're going to pull one of each from each deck, and that'll be our energy card of the week, our energy reading for the week. And can you tell I'm a little rattled? Like, we had a long story short, I manifested a new front door, but in a really interesting Mercury retrograde way. And apologies for all the noise. There's construction outside my window right now because we're in a new house, hence all the boxes and everything. But the guys replacing the door have been in and out, and it's like the energy is kind of weird. So I cleared my energy, and what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna. So if you're feeling that same kind of take a good up to the ears with your shoulders and one more time. One more. Okay. Now, I feel a little more grounded. How about you? Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We're going to do one of the Archangel Michael cards. And then we're going to do, for helper and explanation, one of the spirit animal cards, and then a My Meditation Minute card. And then after that, we'll check in, and then I will be pulling your personal readings at the end. So anyways, like I said, there's links below if you like these. So here we go. This week, there's not a lot of stuff going on. There's stuff going on, but it's not as it feels a lot less intense than the last couple of months. And we're in Virgo, so lots of integration. And our, I think it is on the 18th, which is next week, we have a super full moon, and I'll talk more about this next week. Lunar eclipse in Pisces. We'll talk more about that next week. But this week, let's see, we'll pull this card. This is it. Ooh. Love it. Okay. And then we'll pull another. Don't worry, I will show these to you. Don't worry. Oops. Got 2 jumpers. Okay. Interesting. So now this week, unlike other weeks, we will have multiple cards. This one. Okay. Interesting, y'all. And let's see. So we'll have 3 helper cards, and then we'll have a little spirit. Meditation minute card. I think it's this one. Yes. Okay. So this is interesting. So there's lots of stuff going on. So our overarching, what we need to know for the week is step into the spotlight. And I think this is for me. It's for all y'all. You have a message that the world needs you to hear. It's time to share your wisdom. So I think this is so apropos. So our Mercury retrograde is going direct, like out of shadow. It went direct like last week or something like that, I think on the 5th, but we were in, post shade till I think the 11th or 12th. But the whole of our transformation and stuff like that has been going on, which is why it has been so like upheaval this year. Like it feels even more like I know I can't even emphasize, like in 2018, 2019, we were like, wow, things are happening really fast. And then 2020, 2022, oh my gosh, things are shifting really, really fast. And then this year, it's like every single month is like a year. So I want to say all of that culmination right now, we are on the precipice of huge shifts, because, Pluto is retrograding back into Capricorn right now to kind of be like, okay, wrap up all of your patriarchal shit and let's move then into transformation, Pluto, into Aquarius, which is about community, how I am going to utilize my gifts for the greater good, for community. Aquarius is everybody, the collective. Like, how am I going to show up and shine and not be a servant, not be the person who's like, oh, I'm just going to give my gifts for free because blah, blah, that whole like light worker wound bullshit. Yeah, we're no more for that either. So yes, there is being of service. Like, how are you going to show up and be of service? And we currently live, and this is also shifting, but for right now, we live in a time where it's like services are energetic exchanges because, yes, I have spent 50, almost two in like a week or two, 52 years, like being this intuitive being. I'm fourth generation. It's part of my heritage, ancestry, and my growing up. And I've spent like a lot of time, energy, and money on learning and refining my skill set and doing all the things and buying the shiny crystals and the card decks. And so there is an energetic exchange for your gifts right now. And that energetic exchange is whatever you deem it, but it has to be in balance. That's another thing about the shining your light, okay? But either way, we are being called right now because of the shift in energy, that there's this big, huge shift that we're like, entering the age of Aquarius, like the song says. And all of us that are being called and have woken up lately, this is what our call is to. Shine your gift. Stop hiding in the shadows. Come out of the broom closet or whatever closet you're in. And it's time to shine. It's time to come out and show up and all the business. Now, the helper cards. Here's the funny thing. These are so interesting. And of course, I love all of them. Oh my gosh. Yes. So our first helper card, I'm going to do the two jumpers, which are interesting because it's chameleon and frog. And then the chosen card is skunk, but upside down. I'll explain that. Don't worry. So chameleon, I love chameleon. Look how like chameleon's like, so Alicia, if you see this card, the face on the card here, sometimes this is the face that one of my friends makes whenever she's like, great, that's fabulous, I'm so excited. I feel like this is kind of sometimes how we're gonna feel about this shift, which is like, yeah, I chose this, that's awesome. But the chameleon spirit is like a chameleon changes into whatever it needs to be. And so that doesn't necessarily mean being fake or being manipulative or but it's literally being resilient for whatever the circumstance is. It says act as if. So in this case, if you are challenged by fear to set yourself out into the spotlight, it's time to sit down and really analyze where is that fear? And then maybe I need to act as if, because, confidence doesn't come on its own. Confidence comes by doing. So stepping out into the light and just hitting go live. Like this morning, I'm like, my hair is wet. It's not done. I don't have any makeup on. My microphone is in a box somewhere. But you know what? I'm just going to show up because I committed to showing up, and this is what I'm doing. And I'm going to act as if I'm good with it, which, right now I am kind of good with it. Because once you start thinking a certain way, then you exude that. So this is be the thing, be the energy of the person who has the thing that's there. So be the energy of the person that is the version of you that is stepping out into the spotlight. Now, clear out the clutter as frog spirit. This is the other one. This is so interesting. So clearing the clutter. Hello, spirit's talking to me. You know, and there's some clutter in my living room still, and just an internal clutter. And Louise Hay, who I love, if you have not read her book or seen the movie You Can Heal Your Life, highly recommend. But she talks about how your external is a reflection of your internal. So I know once I get this office kind of squared away, I will feel better. When I get, like, I have an online teaching platform that I'm still working on getting in order. And once I get that in order, I will feel better. So, and it'll kind of, then my inner and my outer will be in balance. So decluttering your space, decluttering your mindset, those things help you, you know, step into the spotlight. It also helps you act as if, because the thing is, when you declutter, oh, actually, I want this in front. When you declutter your inner and your outer, not only does it make space for you to be the thing that spirit is saying you need to be, but it also allows you to open up space to manifest and attract in stuff, to create a vacuum, if you will, for attraction, because the vacuum sucks everything in, and that's kind of what we want. We want to suck in all the good stuff. So making that space for you to be who you want is really important here. And then this is interesting because skunk comes in, so that the final helper here to do all these things, to shine your light, to step into the spotlight, to do the decluttering because you love yourself so much. I'm going to declutter stuff. You know, stepping into the light is skunk upside down, which is know your worth. And upside down to me is one of three things. It's not bad, like hide your kids, hide your wife. It's I didn't know that. I knew that and I forgot, which I do that all the time. Or I know that and I'm being a whiny baby and I don't wanna, and I'm in resistance. Okay. So I feel like this is I think for every person here, I think everybody knows this. Like, I know I need to know my worth, but I think it's the latter two for many people, depending on who you are and where you are in your journey. So if it's I forgot that I knew that, here's your reminder. Here's your reminder. You are worth this. You are worth setting aside time to do your decluttering, setting aside time to reset your energy so that you can act as if, so that you can visualize the end of what the receiving of what you want, whatever that spotlight is. You know, I'm gonna, you know, one of my goals is I'm working on increasing my YouTube channel. So with that said, if you haven't subscribed already and you're watching and you love this video, subscribe, hit the bell. Please give the video a thumbs up, because that tells the algorithm to put it in front of other people. So like, here we go. I'm doing my inspired action. I know my worth and I'm stepping into the spotlight. So that's kind of what you need to do. Now, if you are one of those people that is the kind that is, I know that I know this, but I'm being a whiny baby and I don't want to. It's really interesting because most people be like, of course I want to know my worth. Of course I want to know that. But there's a resistance there. So that is where the shadow work is important, where you start asking yourself, why am I not know? Why do, you know, instead of sitting in your story of why you don't value yourself, stand on your story. Start examining, where did that come from? When did it start? Was it my inner child, my inner teen, my inner 20-something? Where did that start for me? Or actually, a better point would be, when did that start with me? When? Where is it? Because when you do that and you start reminding yourself, you know, hey, somebody else planted that seed. It may have been well-meaning because they had their own shit going on. It doesn't mean they were a bad person. It might mean that they just were trying to save you some pain that they had, but they did it in a way that wasn't good for you. So the fact is that we have to say, you know, somebody else put that in our head, because when we are born with incredible amounts of love for ourselves, for others, and then it's programmed out of us. So deciding I am worthy of everything. Know your worth. Because when you know your worth and you know you're good at what you do, I don't care what it is. It could be baking cupcakes. It could be making vegan meals. It could be, you know, doing like science stuff or math or creating healthy environments in the body, through various ways of healing modalities, whatever it is, that is where you need to shine your light. You need to remember people are just needing you. You may not even know them yet, and they need you. And so therefore you need to show up. Okay. And that's why you need to know your worth, because they are waiting for you. And you dinking around trying to figure out, like, to try and say, oh, I can't because I'm not. No, it's time to be honest with yourself. It's time to say, I am worthy. And somebody put that in my head and I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to buy into that anymore. And then our last card is a mantra, and it's actually it's a mini meditation, and it is safe for me to feel and process my feelings, even the uncomfortable ones. So when the uncomfortable ones show up around this inner shadow work, it's okay. It's okay for you to do that. Do not abandon yourself. When we don't process our feelings, when we say, oh, that's a bad feeling, my sadness or my guilt or my anger or my whatever is bad. We abandon ourselves. Oh, I didn't do that. We blame ourselves. No, stop doing that. Please stop doing that. It's safe for you to do this. It's all I love this kind of this quote, but I don't know who said it, but I love it. And it's all emotions are valid, all behaviors are not. So like if you're angry and you go and you punch a hole in the wall, yes. Is your anger valid? Yes. Is punching a hole in the wall the best way to handle that? No. So it might be more like saying to yourself, okay, yes, I am angry and I feel angry. And maybe I need to go and scream into a pillow. Maybe I need to say to myself, you know what, it's okay if I'm angry, but let me explore why I'm angry. And it has nothing to do with anyone else. So it's not I'm angry because that person did me wrong. It's I'm angry because how did I allow myself to do myself wrong? And not where I'm dwelling in the guilt or the blame or the shame of that, but just saying, you know what, I am doing myself wrong, so I'm going to choose not to do that anymore. That's the difference. When we're in meditation, a lot of times people blame, or in manifestation, the practice usually is like, oh, where are you doing something wrong? And it's all your fault. Blah, blah, blah. No, accountability can be done without punishment. It's because you have to realize where in the accountability do I need to show up for myself. So if I'm angry and it's because I feel wronged by someone, I have to say, well, what are they doing? And where am I doing that to myself? And then choosing to not do that to myself anymore. That's how processing emotions, even the uncomfortable ones, works. And then what happens is once you do that, it's almost like it doesn't have a hold on you anymore. It's like calling something by its name. I'm doing myself wrong by doing this. So I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm not going to abandon myself anymore. So I'm going to show up for myself. So that is our reading for today. So it's this week's energy is it's time to step into the light. Come on, y'all. Step out of the darkness into the light. We're going to act as if, because if we're afraid, because I know it's not always easy, it's a challenge. We're going to act as if and be resilient about it and just be like, hold our nose and jump in the pool, so to speak. Hit the go live button if that's your deal. Then one of the other ways we're going to help ourselves do this is to clear out the clutter. And it's really interesting when you tie all this together, because part of clearing out the clutter is getting rid of those itty bitty shitty committee programmings, like you're not sure what you're worth. So knowing your worth. So if we're decluttering anything that is blocking our worthiness, that's where we're on the right track. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to process our feelings, even the uncomfortable ones. If that's journal work for you, if that is working with a coach for you, if that's doing a reading with you, is that maybe pulling some of your own cards, or just, maybe you have a therapist and this is resonating with you. And if it is resonating, which one of these is resonating with you? Tell me in the comments below. Go ahead and drop me a note. Like, does any of this resonate with you? How are you supposed to show up in the world? Like, what is your calling? Are you like a podcaster? Are you a baker? Are you a woopreneur like me? Are you doing something like, you're going to maybe foster a child? I don't know, but what are you being called to do? Go ahead and share in the comments if you feel called, and maybe tell me something that's an inspired action that you need to do. And then, well, how about we do this? Before we swap over to the card pulls, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to you, we're going to do this really quick little meditation for a minute. So I want you to get comfy in your chair. Put your hands on your thighs with your palms facing down. And when you're ready, either let your eyes float closed or, kind of just fixate and let your eyes unfocus on something on the floor in front of you. And you're going to inhale through your nose. It is safe for me, and exhaling to feel and process my feelings, even the uncomfortable ones. Inhaling, exhaling through your mouth. It is safe for me to process my feelings, even the uncomfortable ones. One more time, inhale. It is safe for me, and exhale to process my feelings, even the uncomfortable ones. And just sit here for a moment. Maybe shake your head from side to side. Move your head up, yes, and up, and maybe no. And then come back to center, breathing normally and opening your eyes. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Now, I am going to use the animal spirit because that's what I'm called to do this week. And again, if you are looking for any of these decks, the links are in the description. I always include them because I like when I see a pretty deck to know where can I get it, because I got a lot. There's like probably 4 boxes back here full of decks. Okay, so now for your personal reading. So here's how we're going to do this. Now, I'm going to pull 3 cards. And right now, I want you to do 2 things. One is take a moment and think of a question that you are going to be asking Spirit, and think of that question right now. Just take a moment. And your question, we're not going to talk yes or no's. We're going to talk about like, what do I need to know about this situation? Is more about not should I do it, shouldn't. That's giving away your power. I want you to keep your power, stay empowered, and ask, what would it take for me to do this? Or maybe, what do I need to know about the situation? Those are the things that you can ask, okay? Or you may just say, hey, what do I need to know today, Spirit? All right, so grab your question. I'll give you a moment. Sorry about the beeping. Okay. Now I'm going to pull 3 cards. So before we pull, now you have your question. I want you to pick a number 1, 2, or 3. Go ahead and choose your number. You can go ahead and put it in the comments if you want. 1, 2, or 3. And as you're doing that, I'm going to shuffle. And then I'll do a reading for each of those cards. Based on whatever your question and whatever number you went and chose, make sure you put it in the comments and let me know. And then I will pick 3 cards, and here we go. Okay. Ooh, card number 1. Card number 2. Card number 3. Ooh, all y'all upside down cards all across the board. Interesting. So again, I'll just go through all of this. So for my number 1s out there, the number 1s out there, you got upside down, eagle, spirit. And Spirit has your back. So if you are a number 1, this is what it looks like right side up. Very regal, right? Upside down is Spirit has your back. Upside down, again, is I didn't know that, I forgot that I knew that, or I'm being a whiny baby and I don't want to. This one, I think, is, again, 2 and 3. Either it is I forgot that I knew that, or I'm being a whiny baby and I'm trying to control things. So Spirit has your back. So whatever is going on for you, my number 1s, you are kind of trying to finagle through this on your own. And you keep forgetting that Spirit is your co-pilot. So having faith in yourself to let it go, having faith in Spirit to take it on. It's time to give up, let Eagle take the wheel, let Spirit take the wheel, let God take the wheel, whatever your higher than you thing is, Let them take the wheel. So all of my number ones, if you are being little control freaks about a situation, it's time to stop. You're trying to figure out all the problems, and the fact is that your answer, yours, it's not yours to answer here. Okay, remember, when we're trying to manifest stuff, when we're trying to create that life that we love, the outcomes that we want, when we are trying to control everything, that is not how you manifest stuff. Manifesting is, your job is the what and the why and the inspired action. So what do I want? Why do I want it? And remember, the why that I want. Oh, hello, balloons. Apparently, I'm speaking truth. I have no idea how that happened. But the thing is, if you have to state what you want, why you want it, and why you want it is more about you, not because I want someone else to do something, not because so I don't want something to happen. It's, I want it because this is why I want it. I want it because um of whatever reason. Like, it's like, say you want a new car. I want a new car. Okay, why do I want it? The answer is not because I hate my old car. Then it's more, phrase it from a perspective of, I want the new car because I would love a vehicle that is dependable and is fun and it starts and it's easy to maintain, like all of the things you want, not what you don't want. And then number 3 of that is inspired action. So if you see that car that you want, go check it out. See what's going on. You know, if you see it for sale somewhere, go, like, that's your inspired action. So look for your signs. And the universe's job is the where, when, and how. So if you want to, make sure, like, get that as far as your job description, because right now, those of you that are like number ones, you might be in a state of trying to control things. And when you go to work, is the person who's trying to tell you how to do your job from a whole other department a pain in your ass or not? Because that's exactly what you're doing to the universe. You're trying to tell the universe how to do their job, and that's not your job. Let them take care of it. Give them the wheel and they will deliver. Okay. So remember, upside down eagle is spirit has your back. Remember that, because right now you're not. So focus on that. My number 2s, is scarab beetle spirit. I love this. It's like an ancient. I love that movie, The Mummy, not the Tom Cruise one, the Brendan Fraser one. If you haven't seen that one, make sure you see it because it'll be your favorite movie. It is like just brain candy, eye candy. I love it. Anyways, but scarabs are old ancient Egyptian things, and it says magic works through you, is upside down. So number 2 is, whatever your situation, remember, this is another one where I think you are. It's this one, the strongest resonation I'm seeing for this one is, I forgot that I knew that. I forgot that magic resonates in me. It's like, I have spent way too much time in the material world. I've spent so much time being tied into the matrix in a way that doesn't feel good, whether it's I'm watching too much news or I am dwelling in what is that doesn't feel good. Rather than creating the things that I want. So knowing you are magical and the miracles dwell within you and the magic is within you, that's when things happen. So you need to remember who you are. You are a divine extension of the universe. You are a divine extension of source energy. And source energy at its core is co-creative. It is creation at its core. You create whatever you think about. So remember that magic. So if you're thinking about how the mundane is creating a pain in your ass, guess what? More pain in your ass. If you start saying, you know what, to heck with the mundane. Yes, I chose this, spiritual being inhabiting a human body and all that goes with it. But at the end of the day, I am creating the movie that which is my life. So thusly, the magic is within me, and I need to engage with that so that I can create the stuff that I want. So stop forgetting who you are and start remembering who you are. Stop looking at the poo and start looking at the sparkle, and bring that into your energy more frequently. Remember that you are a miracle. Everything about you is a miracle, and that you are the magic that co-creates with source the life that you want. Now, here's the funny thing. Our unconscious decides what we want. So we need to really shift our energy and manage our energy, because sometimes, and people are like, well, who would ever want X, Y, and Z? That doesn't feel good, because we're taught we're not magical. We're taught the stuff that doesn't feel good is normal. So what if I told you it wasn't? So what would it take for you? And don't answer this. This is you. This is the question you need to ask spirit. And let the answer come. What would it take for you to re-engage with your magic today? That's your that's your question to the universe. What would it take for you to re-engage with your magic today, number twos? So if you're number two, that's your reading. Number three. Ooh, yes, wolf spirit. Again, upside down. We have a lot of people. It must be a Monday thing. Everybody is upside down today, which is I forgot. Or, and this one is turning knowledge into wisdom. So stuff happens, right? Shit happens to us, and we know what's going on. We might have some book learning, okay? So here's the interesting thing, and let's use something like without energetic charge to it. So changing a tire. So you can watch a YouTube video on how to change a tire on your specific vehicle, in fact, and that's knowledge. Actually doing that, taking that knowledge and putting it into action is wisdom. So where in your life do you have the book learning, but you need to now shift it into action? Which I think is really kind of interesting, that I feel like I'm being drawn back to this card for this, which is stepping into your gifts, into the spotlight, into your gifts, sharing them with the world. You don't need any more certifications. You don't need any more like what I like to call wall credit. It's time to get some street cred, get out there and show off what you know. It is time to turn your knowledge into wisdom. It's time to turn, and even if that knowledge is gained through traumatic means, your wisdom is how you choose to move forward from that moment. And then not so much, you don't have to share everything with the world, but it helps you support other people that have a similar energetic challenge. I think that's a big deal too. I'm being moved to share that. So if that is where this is for you, that's what you need to do. So my number threes today, this is for you. Turn that knowledge into wisdom. Start taking your learning and putting it into action for you, okay? That's what we're doing. So I hope so. So number ones were eagle spirit upside down. Spirit has a reminder that spirit has your back. Number twos, just a reminder for you that magic is moving through you and works through you. So remember who you are. Number threes, turn that knowledge into wisdom. It's a reminder. Again, these upside down cards are not like horrible. It's just, hey, you forgot about this. This is what you need. This is your medicine. So I think that the energy for this week is really about shining your light, remembering who you are and how you're going to show up. Do the internal work that needs to be done so that you can do that, whether it's remembering your resilience, decluttering your inner and outer worlds, all of that kind of stuff. And then just knowing spirit is with you, that you are magical, that everything that happens to you, all of the accumulative knowledge that you know right now needs to be shifted into wisdom, and that's part of the stepping into the light, okay? So that's everything for this week. Oh my goodness. Now, if you want a more personalized reading, you can totally do that. If you go to my website, which the link is below, you can totally book a private reading with me. I don't do them every single day, and I have limited spots every single month for that kind of thing. But if you want, just go ahead and right now, for my birthday month, because right now is September of 2024, I am offering through the end of the month a special pricing on this. So it'll show up for you when you book. And so go ahead and do that. If you want a reading, the link is below. But other than that, I'm so glad that you were here. I hope this was helpful. If it was, go ahead and comment below. I would love to see your feedback. And then also, if you want to check out any of the other videos, like I love the one about what's the difference between life purpose and soul purpose, because that's a question I always get. So I'm going to go ahead and include that at the end here. You can find it on my channel in the playlist about starting your spiritual journey. But once I go in this renders, I will go ahead and attach it here so it's easier to find. So it might be here or here by the time you see this video. So anyways, I hope to see you next week at the same time. And until then, I will see you in the vortex. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me. Have a great week. Blessings. Bye-bye.